Listen carefully. There is no reward for hesitation. The world does not wait for the man who cannot make up his mind. If you want to be wealthy, powerful, and free, you must develop the ability to make fast decisions and act on them with unwavering conviction. Indecision is the silent assassin of dreams. Every day you delay is a day you hand over to mediocrity, to regret, to lost opportunity. Understand this. Success does not fall into the lap of the slow, the timid, or the uncertain. It belongs to those who are bold enough to choose again and again, without flinching, without needing a committee, and without apology. Most people live their entire lives shackled by the illusion that more time equals better choices. They wait for perfect information, for clearer skies, for a sign from the universe. All the while, opportunities slip by, doors close, and momentum is lost. You will never have all the facts. You will never have absolute certainty. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the willingness to decide, to leap, to trust their gut, even when others are still pondering and doubting. The habit of quick, decisive action is the single most valuable tool in the arsenal of every self-made millionaire. Let the crowd be paralyzed by analysis. Let the herd seek safety in endless preparation. You must be different. Develop a bias for action. When faced with a decision, gather what information you can, trust your instincts, and move. The more you practice, the sharper your intuition becomes. Decision-making is like a muscle, if unused, powerful when trained by daily exercise. The man who practices quick decisions is the man who controls his destiny. Success moves at the speed of decision. Wealth moves at the speed of decision. The man who is willing to act while others hesitate will always seize the advantage. This is how fortunes are made and empires are built, not by those who wait for guarantees, but by those who are willing to risk, fail, adapt, and move again. Look at any empire, any great business, any transformative leader. You will find the fingerprints of fast, bold, relentless decisions all over their story. When you delay, you not only miss opportunities, but you drain your own energy. Indecision breeds anxiety. Every time you defer a choice, you add weight to your mind and tension to your body. The habit of postponing decisions saps your confidence and robs you of peace. Success comes from building the discipline to decide quickly, act, and then adapt as new information arrives. You will never move forward standing still. You will never reach your goals if you can't force yourself to choose. Notice the cost of delay in your own life. Count the hours, days, even years you have lost to hesitation. Think about how many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because you waited too long to start. There is a law of diminishing returns when it comes to thinking and planning. Eventually, another hour of deliberation does not improve your choice. It simply becomes another hour wasted. The truly successful know when to think and when to leap. They train themselves to recognize the difference, and they err on the side of action. Train yourself to make decisions quickly and with finality. Begin with small choices. What to eat, what to wear, when to start your day. Move on to bigger ones. Which goals to chase, which relationships to pursue, which projects to kill. Refuse to linger in uncertainty. Act and let the chips fall where they may. If you make a mistake, correct it fast. The man who moves is the man who learns. The man who hesitates is the man who stagnates. People will tell you to sleep on it, to take your time, to be careful. Ignore them. The people who caution you to slow down are usually the ones who have achieved the least. They are protecting their own comfort, not your potential. If you want to do what most people never will, you must train yourself to act in ways most people never dare. The world will adjust. Those who make fast decisions become leaders. Those who wait become followers, or worse, bystanders in their own lives. Understand that the cost of inaction is always greater than the cost of action. When you act, you create energy. You learn. You attract opportunity. When you hesitate, you invite doubt. You lose momentum, and you signal to the world that you are not ready. The universe rewards speed. The marketplace rewards speed. If you want to win, you must develop speed as your superpower. This is not recklessness. It is disciplined, calculated boldness. Get the facts that matter. Filter out the noise. Trust your judgment. Decide. Then refuse to second-guess yourself. When you decide, the universe responds. Circumstances align. People appear. Doors open. But none of this can happen while you are still hesitating. If you want your life to change, you must change your habits. Start making decisions faster, starting now. Every hesitation is a vote for the status quo. Every bold choice is a step toward a new reality. There is no such thing as standing still. You are either moving forward or you are falling behind. Train yourself to act before you feel fully ready. That's when the breakthroughs happen. That's when you become someone the old you would barely recognize. You must be willing to take responsibility for your choices. This is the price of greatness. The man who waits for someone else to decide, or for the perfect moment, is choosing failure by default. Take ownership of your future by becoming decisive. When you own your choices, you own your life. Cut out the distractions. Most hesitation comes from seeking too many opinions, consuming too much information, or fearing the disapproval of others. Silence the noise. Look within. Make your decision. Take action. Evaluate your results and adjust. This cycle, repeated over and over, is the true engine of success. Remember, the world is changed by the few who act while the many debate. Make your mind a weapon. Build the habit of speed. The man who moves first shapes the game, sets the agenda, and becomes the standard. Don't wait to see if the water is warm. Jump in, make a splash, and learn to swim as you go. Let this be your new philosophy. I act fast and I fix as I go. This is the secret of every innovator, every pioneer, every champion. Fast decisions force you to trust yourself. Fast action puts you in front of the wave. Fast execution allows you to correct course before anyone else has even started moving. In the new world, speed is the advantage that multiplies all your other strengths. Look at your life and be honest. Where have you been delaying? What choice are you afraid to make? What action are you waiting for permission to take? Stop lying to yourself that you need more time. Time is not your friend. Action is. Start now, before you are ready, before you feel comfortable, before the voice of fear grows too loud to ignore. The man who waits for certainty never wins. The man who acts in spite of uncertainty changes the world. This is how you create momentum. This is how you force the universe to respond. Decisions are the levers that move your destiny. The more you make, the more powerful you become. Stop letting indecision paralyze you. Stop letting opportunity pass by while you overthink every possible outcome. Get in the habit of making fast, bold decisions. Every day, in every way, become the kind of person who acts immediately, decisively, fearlessly. There is greatness in you waiting to be unlocked, but you will never access it by waiting for permission or certainty. Make your decision, take your shot, and refuse to look back. Success belongs to the fast. Success belongs to the bold. Success belongs to those who train themselves to decide and act while the rest of the world is still wondering if now is the right time. Make the decision. Take the action. Own the result. That is the only way you will ever know just how far you can go. Stop bargaining with your greatness. Every time you wait, you negotiate with your own destiny. And every minute you waste on indecision, you forfeit to someone else's ambition. You cannot afford to make a habit out of delay. The world is already overcrowded with men and women who are always about to begin. You were not born to spend your life on the edge of commitment, paralyzed by the illusion of another tomorrow. There is a window for every opportunity, and if you hesitate, you will find that the window closes while you are still thinking about climbing through it. The riches of life, the rewards of achievement, the satisfaction of accomplishment, they are reserved for those who refuse to stand still. Understand the nature of decision-making. It is less about information and more about courage. You will never have perfect clarity. At some point, you must draw a line in the sand and say, "This is my move." The man who is unwilling to risk being wrong is doomed to a life of watching others win. Your indecision is the only thing standing between you and everything you desire. The moment you decide, truly decide, the entire universe shifts. Resources, people, ideas, and circumstances begin to bend in your favor, not because of some cosmic magic, but because you have become a force that cannot be ignored. Your focus becomes a magnet, your will attracts results. People will warn you of the dangers of making mistakes. What they never tell you is the greater danger of making nothing at all. Mistakes are temporary, regret is permanent. One decision, even if flawed, is 1,000 times more powerful than a lifetime of waiting. Every time you act, you gather information, build resilience, and earn wisdom. Every time you hesitate, you grow weaker, less sure of yourself, and more attached to the comfort of inaction. Life is a stream that moves. It punishes those who refuse to swim. The secret weapon of every high achiever is this: speed of implementation. If they see a door open, they move through it. If they sense an opportunity, they pounce. If they make a mistake, they pivot immediately. The mediocre will tell you that you need more research, more time, more opinions. This is the path to average. Those who rise above the rest are not reckless, but they are ruthless about moving forward. They gather enough data, trust their instincts, and then move. If it goes wrong, they fix it while others are still thinking. This habit, repeated day after day, is how fortunes are built and legacies are established. You must develop this muscle: fast decisions, faster actions. Procrastination is not a personality trait. It is a bad habit, and like any habit, it can be broken with discipline. Set deadlines for your decisions. Do not let the sun set twice on a choice you are avoiding. If you catch yourself thinking for too long, force yourself to act. Use self-imposed urgency as your ally. Build the expectation in your own mind that you are a man of action. Others may not notice at first, but soon your results will speak so loudly that no one will be able to ignore you. The greatest danger in indecision is not just lost opportunity, but the message it sends to your subconscious mind. Every time you refuse to act, you reinforce the belief that you are powerless. You become the type of person who watches, not the one who does. Your confidence erodes, your creativity dulls, and your sense of agency fades. By contrast, when you make fast decisions, you tell yourself, "I am in control. I am the master of my fate." With every action you take, you grow stronger. You become more courageous, more confident, more magnetic to the opportunities that shape extraordinary lives. Here is the truth few will say out loud. No one is coming to rescue you from the paralysis of indecision. You must become your own rescuer. You must learn to force your own hand, to push yourself into action before you are ready, before you feel prepared, before all the voices in your mind have been quieted. Progress always comes before perfection. You are not meant to figure it all out before you start. Start, and the path will reveal itself to you. The fog clears only for those who walk through it. Examine the pattern of your own life. Trace the history of your failures and your triumphs. You will find, if you are honest, that every leap forward came from a decision made in the face of uncertainty. You moved, and things began to move with you. When you hesitated, you stagnated. The lesson is simple. Momentum is built on action. Action is built on decision. Decision requires the willingness to risk being wrong, to risk discomfort, to risk the unknown. But the price of admission is worth the rewards. Never forget, your competition is not the man next to you, but your own tendency to wait. Every time you delay, you lose ground, not only in the world, but within your own character. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to move. The only cure is to act. Force yourself to choose, to move, to create momentum. It will feel uncomfortable, even unnatural at first. But as you persist, you will find that decision-making becomes easier, faster, and more instinctive. The world will begin to respond to you differently. People will see you as decisive, as a leader, as a man to be respected. Do not make the mistake of believing you can avoid pain by waiting. Waiting is pain. The pain of missed chances, of forgotten dreams, of the nagging what if that haunts the man who never dared. Far better to act, to try, to fail, and to learn than to spend your life in the half-light of potential. The greatest agony is not the agony of a failed decision, but the slow suffocation of unexpressed ambition. The discipline of fast decision-making is not just for business or money. It applies to every area of your life. Relationships, health, learning, creativity, spirituality, every arena rewards the man who is willing to act, waiting for the perfect moment to apologize, to reach out, to start a new habit, to invest in yourself. These are all forms of self-sabotage dressed up as wisdom. The reality is, wisdom comes after the decision, not before. Experience is earned in the trenches, not in the comfort of the planning room. Cut ties with the people and environments that reward hesitation. Surround yourself with men and women who move quickly, who value boldness, who force you to keep pace with their energy. If you spend time with those who always wait, you will become one of them. Instead, make it your identity to act first, to learn on the move, to build confidence through courage. Your results will compound. Each fast decision becomes a building block in your empire. Each small risk you take sharpens your instincts, expands your vision, and increases your capacity to seize bigger opportunities in the future. Remember this above all. Your power is in your ability to choose. The world will try to distract you with 1,000 trivial options, endless streams of information, and the opinions of people who have never built anything. Ignore the noise. Focus your energy. Make the best decision you can with the knowledge you have, and then move. You can always adjust course, but if you never start, there will be nothing to adjust. Do not let the fear of failure become your excuse for doing nothing. Every man who has ever accomplished anything of value has failed, usually more than once. What separates the great from the mediocre is not an absence of mistakes, but the speed with which they move on, adapt, and try again. Mistakes are tuition on the road to mastery. The only way to become good at anything is to do it. Do it badly and keep going. Fast decisions make you more resilient. They teach you to trust your inner voice and to act in spite of fear. Discipline yourself to become a man of action. Begin today. Identify a decision you have been avoiding and make it. Move forward, even if it feels risky. Track your progress. Every day, commit to making choices more quickly. Celebrate your willingness to act, not just the outcomes. In time, you will discover that the habit of decisive action is the most valuable asset you possess. It will deliver results, confidence, and a sense of power that few ever know. The world belongs to those who dare to decide. Train yourself to move before you feel ready. Break the habit of delay. Rewire your mind for speed. The life you want is waiting on the other side of your next decision. Make it. Own it. Step forward. Your success depends on it. It is time to face the reality that success is not lost in the grand missteps, but in the countless tiny moments of hesitation that steal away your momentum day after day. Life is a sequence of choices, and the sum of those choices forms the architecture of your fate. If your life is stalled, if you are wondering why you remain in the same place year after year, examine not just your actions, but the long, empty stretches between them. In those quiet gaps where you allow doubt, fear, and uncertainty to fester, your dreams begin to decay. Most men die not from a single blow, but from the 1,000 cuts of their own inaction. Understand, hesitation is silent sabotage. If you intend to make anything of yourself, you must burn the bridges to indecision. The world you want cannot be reached by timid steps. It demands commitment that is so definite, so absolute, that there is no escape route for your old, cautious self. Every time you choose quickly and act boldly, you declare to yourself and the world that you will not tolerate mediocrity. You create a rhythm of progress that builds on itself, feeding your confidence and multiplying your results. There is power in relentless movement. The stream does not carve the rock by brute force, but by flowing continuously. Be the stream, not the stagnant pond. The value of rapid decision-making is not in recklessness, but in learning to trust your instincts. Most of your best ideas and greatest insights will not come after months of analysis. They will arise in the flash of a moment, a spark, a hunch, a surge of intuition. Doubt tries to drown that spark before it ignites. The successful man learns to grab hold of his first impulse and ride it into action. He does not seek permission. He does not endlessly gather more opinions. He is willing to be wrong, but he is not willing to stand still. Let that be you. When you have an urge to act, act. Hesitation is an enemy to be destroyed. You must realize that the ability to make fast decisions is also a force for freedom. The man who can decide quickly is never a slave to the conditions around him. He is not pushed by the winds of others' expectations. He creates his own weather, moves with purpose, and carries a momentum that others cannot understand. He can adapt, adjust, and redirect, but he is never at the mercy of circumstance. This is what separates leaders from followers. The leader moves first, and the world scrambles to catch up. It is easy to hide behind the illusion of waiting for more information, but information alone is not what delivers results. In truth, the best data is revealed only after you are in motion. Action exposes reality. Plans are hypothetical until tested. You will never outthink all the variables in advance, so quit believing the lie that you need perfect clarity. If you are honest with yourself, you already know what needs to be done. The real battle is not in figuring out what to do, but in forcing yourself to do it now without delay. You must also destroy the myth that circumstances will one day become perfect for decisive action. There is no perfect time. There are only the opportunities you seize and those you squander. The future belongs to the man who acts first. By the time the world recognizes the next big opportunity, it has already been claimed by those who refuse to wait. That applies to business, to relationships, to personal growth, to every area where rewards are offered to the brave. A man who acts quickly also experiences life more deeply. There is a richness that comes from living at full tilt, from tasting the victories and the defeats that come only to the doers. While others debate, you are living, learning, expanding. Each rapid decision, each commitment to action compounds your experience and wisdom. Eventually, this habit forms an internal compass that becomes almost infallible. You trust your gut not because it is mystical, but because you have trained it with thousands of swift choices, each one sharpening your sense for what works. What about the fear of being wrong? Let it die. Mistakes are the tuition you pay for mastery. You can recover from a wrong move, but you cannot recover lost years. Regret is the most expensive price of all. If you want to become powerful, you must become immune to the sting of temporary setbacks. They are feedback, nothing more. The winners in every field are not those who make the fewest mistakes. They are those who recover fastest and move on. Cultivate the resilience to act, adjust, and act again. This is how all empires are built. There will always be those who try to slow you down, who will beg you to be cautious, to be patient, to weigh every option for as long as possible. Most of these people have accomplished nothing of note. Take their advice and you will inherit their results. Instead, study the lives of those who built, who achieved, who conquered. You will find a common thread. They were men and women of action. They moved quickly, made decisions, accepted the consequences, and kept moving. They did not let fear of criticism or failure slow them down. If you want to develop the habit of decisive action, start with small choices. Decide what to eat, what to wear, when to wake up, quickly and firmly. Refuse to agonize over the trivial. This will build the muscle for larger decisions. Set time limits on your thinking. Give yourself minutes, not hours or days, to choose your direction. Get in the habit of starting before you feel ready. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. Momentum breeds momentum. You must also learn to silence the internal committee. There is a part of your mind that wants to debate, to argue, to rehearse every possible outcome. This part of you must be overruled. Decision is not a group activity. You are the chairman of your own fate. When the time comes to move, shut down the debate and command yourself forward. It is not always comfortable, but it is always powerful. The real advantage of rapid decision-making is psychological. Every quick choice you make is a vote for the man you wish to become. Over time, you develop an identity as someone who is bold, decisive, unstoppable. This is priceless. The world senses your certainty and responds with respect and opportunity. The self-doubt that once paralyzed you becomes a faint memory, replaced by an inner confidence that cannot be faked. When you walk into a room, people notice. When you speak, they listen. Your reputation will be built not just on results, but on your willingness to act while others still hesitate. Let others wait. Let them debate. Let them gather more data. You are here to act, to build, to shape your world. The secret to a life of accomplishment is simply this: decide faster, act sooner, adjust as needed. Most men waste decades waiting for the green light. If you want to be great, you must learn to run on yellow. Move forward before the path is fully clear. Trust that you will find your way as you go. The rewards for this approach are not only external. Yes, you will achieve more, earn more, build more, but more importantly, you will become more. You will experience the satisfaction of knowing that you lived fully, that you gave your all, that you refused to let the clock run out while you waited for a sign. Life does not reward the tentative. It bows to the bold. The only permission you need is your own. When you look back on your journey, you will see that the greatest breakthroughs came not from long periods of preparation, but from those moments when you decided, without guarantee of success, to move. You will remember the rush, the clarity, the electric surge of stepping forward into the unknown. This is the feeling of being alive. This is the way of the master. So train yourself now before another day is wasted. Refuse to let indecision define you. Cultivate the habit of fast, firm choices. Take pride in your ability to act, to lead, to create. The world belongs to the man who moves. From this day forward, let that man be you. There is a brutal, liberating truth you must confront if you are ever to escape the common rut and ascend to the level of those who achieve greatness. Success is impatient. It does not linger for the uncertain, nor does it extend sympathy to those who forever stand at the crossroads mapping out theoretical routes. Success demands action. It wants boldness. It rewards those who refuse to be paralyzed by their own analysis. If you want to master this law, you must become the kind of person who forces movement even when clarity is lacking and the terrain ahead is uncertain. This is not recklessness. It is the habit of champion. Most people spend their lives studying the map, fearing they will make a wrong turn. In reality, the map is only useful to those who are already walking. What good is a perfect plan that never leaves the drawing board? A man who hesitates, who waits for every light to turn green, is left in the dust by the man who decides quickly and moves forward. It is movement that reveals the actual path, not contemplation. Every decision is a step, and every step brings new information, new possibilities, and new strengths. The world shifts for the person in motion. It remains indifferent to those who merely contemplate. Every time you make a fast decision, you signal to your subconscious that you trust yourself. You program your mind to expect action, to be solution-oriented. In contrast, every time you hesitate, you give strength to the inner voice that doubts and second-guesses. Over months and years, these tiny, barely noticed moments of hesitation build up into a wall, a psychological prison made of your own uncertainty. Tear it down, brick by brick. Force yourself to decide, even if the best choice is unclear. You will learn more from a bold mistake than from a lifetime spent avoiding errors. Do not fall for the illusion of endless research. There is no amount of study or consultation that can eliminate all risks. The habit of delaying is a clever mask worn by fear. Fear will tell you, wait just a little longer. It will convince you that you need to prepare, to ask one more person, to find one more piece of information. Ignore it. Success belongs to those who can make a decision on incomplete information and then improve as they go. The universe does not reward those who stand on the sidelines hoping to predict the outcome of every play. It rewards those who get in the game and adapt on the fly. Consider this. Your potential grows only in the act of engagement. Most people are haunted by the fantasy that their big moment will come once they are ready. But readiness is a myth. The act of making a decision and stepping forward is what makes you ready. Growth is forged in discomfort, not comfort. The man who refuses to act until he feels certain will never know what he is truly capable of because certainty comes only through doing. Stop insisting on guarantees. Demand of yourself the courage to move anyway. Decisiveness is not a trait you were born with. It is a discipline built one choice at a time. Every day, life presents you with dozens of opportunities to train this faculty. Start with the small things. Make decisions about your schedule, your priorities, your habits, quickly and definitively. The cumulative effect of these small decisions is massive. You build momentum. You train your mind to move. Soon, when the larger, riskier decisions come, you are prepared. Your mind expects to act, not to wait. You have become a man of action. Hesitation breeds regret. It is the slow poison that robs you not only of achievement, but of self-respect. There is nothing more painful than looking back on years squandered by indecision. The world is full of men who could have been giants had they only learned to move faster. Do not add your name to this list. Let your legacy be defined by the speed and sureness of your choices, by the willingness to make a decision and commit, even if the outcome is uncertain. Let us be direct. Fast decision-making will cost you. You will make mistakes, and some of them may sting. You will be criticized by those who are still waiting, still watching, still hoping for guarantees. They will call you impulsive, reckless, too bold. Ignore them. The critic has no skin in the game. The critic is a spectator. The only voice that matters is the one inside you that urges you forward. The world is changed not by those who play it safe, but by those who act and learn along the way. This habit of swift action will spill over into every area of your life. You will find that relationships improve because people are drawn to decisiveness and repelled by uncertainty. Opportunities will begin to present themselves, not because you are luckier, but because you are ready to act when they appear. The person who decides quickly is often the first to arrive, the first to offer value, the first to claim the rewards. In the economy of life, speed is leverage. Understand, too, that fast decision-making is not about saying yes to everything. It is about clarity and finality, knowing what you want and being willing to say no with just as much speed as you say yes. Indecision is often a symptom of weak desire. The man who is clear about his purpose finds it easy to decide because he has a standard by which to measure every option. If something does not serve your vision, discard it immediately. The ability to reject the wrong path is just as important as the ability to choose the right one. Your life is a canvas. Every decision is a brushstroke. When you delay, you freeze the painting. When you act, the picture evolves, often in ways you never could have planned. Stop worshiping the illusion of a flawless plan. The masterpiece of your life is built from bold, imperfect action. The artist who never lifts his brush creates nothing. The architect who never lays a stone builds nothing. Be the builder. Be the creator. Do not seek approval before you move. If you require consensus for every choice, you will be condemned to mediocrity. The opinions of the timid are a chain around your potential. You must become immune to the need for validation. Greatness is a lonely road in the beginning. Most people cannot see what you see. They have not trained their minds for boldness. Their fear will infect you if you let it. Choose your counsel carefully, but do not surrender your will to the mob. Decide. Move. Lead. The pain of a bad decision is temporary. The pain of indecision is permanent. The man who is wrong and adjusts is always ahead of the man who never tries. Life is forgiving to those who are willing to act and course correct. The universe conspires with momentum. Once you begin moving, you find allies, resources, ideas, and opportunities that were invisible from the sidelines. The path appears only as you walk it. Ask yourself, how many opportunities have you watched slip away while you waited for perfect conditions? How many times have you seen someone with less talent, less experience, but more speed of action surge ahead while you deliberated? This is not a judgment, but a call to arms. You have everything you need right now to make the next move. You do not need more time, you need more will. If you want to become unstoppable, make the habit of immediate decision sacred. Treat every hesitation as a red flag, a warning sign that you are letting your old patterns win. Confront the discomfort, feel the fear, and move anyway. With every fast decision, you cut a groove in your character. Over months and years, this groove becomes a river, carving a new identity. A man who acts, a leader, a winner. You must also remember that your example is powerful. When you decide quickly and act, you inspire others to do the same. Your family, your friends, your team, they see your courage, and it gives them permission to step up. Leadership is not just about making choices for yourself, but about being the catalyst that shakes others out of inertia. You become a force of nature, a living example of what is possible for those who refuse to wait. Ultimately, speed is a form of faith. It is the belief that whatever happens, you can handle it. It is the trust that you can adapt, learn, and recover from any outcome. This faith is not naive. It is built on the evidence of your own past victories, of every time you took a leap and survived. Let this faith fuel you. Let it become the wind at your back. This is the secret. The world does not belong to the most talented, the most educated, or even the most connected. It belongs to the bold, to those who move, to those who make fast decisions and never allow the fear of imperfection to freeze them. If you want to join their ranks, you know what you must do. The clock is ticking. The future is waiting. Decide now. Act now. Refuse to be counted among the hesitant. You are not here to be a spectator in your own life. You are here to be the architect of your destiny, the commander of your fate. Let your decisions be quick, your actions bold, and your resolve unshakable. Make this the day you stop delaying and start dominating. The world will not wait for you, so stop waiting for the world. Move, decide, become. The rest will follow. If you are serious about rising above the average, if you truly want to seize success with both hands, you must come face to face with the root cause of hesitation. The mind's addiction to comfort and safety. Let me speak plainly. Most people would rather cling to a predictable disappointment than risk a single bold decision that might lift them from mediocrity. This is the iron cage of the ordinary life, and the only way to break it is by forging an unbreakable habit of action. The world does not pause for the indecisive. It belongs to those who move. It is no accident that men and women who achieve extraordinary things often make their choices quickly and change their minds slowly, if at all. When you allow yourself the luxury of second-guessing every move, you are not exercising wisdom. You are indulging weakness. Life will not wait for you to build your courage by reading another book or seeking one more opinion. Strength is built in the fire of action. Each time you act, even in uncertainty, you stretch the boundaries of your own potential. Procrastination is a disease of the mind. The cure is a bias toward decision. Let us destroy an illusion. There is no such thing as a safe indecision. Every time you fail to act, the opportunity is not simply paused, it is lost, often forever. The tide will never return in exactly the same way. The world is teeming with men who watched doors close and spent their remaining years haunted by what might have been, all because they could not decide. You will meet them in every city, every profession, regret etched into their faces. Do not let this be your story. Understand, there is a compounding effect to fast decisions. The first few will be clumsy. You may falter, but as you commit to this discipline, your confidence multiplies, your intuition sharpens, and you begin to sense the right moves with uncanny speed. This is not luck or instinct. It is the muscle of decision at work. Each bold move expands your range. Opportunities begin to orbit around you, drawn by the gravitational pull of your willingness to commit. You become the rare individual who, when an opening appears, seizes it without flinching. Such men and women are always in demand. Some will call you lucky. They will claim you possess a mysterious gift. Let them talk. The truth is this: luck is simply the meeting point of preparation and decisive action. The man who acts quickly makes his own fortune, while the hesitant forever gamble with fate. Study history and you will find the truth stamped upon every page. From the battlefield to the boardroom, the winners are those who make bold decisions when others hesitate. But this is not only about grabbing fleeting chances. Fast decision-making forges character. It sharpens the mind and purges the spirit of cowardice. Every day, your life is shaped not by the grand moments, but by the small, unseen acts of willpower, choosing to begin, to persist, to finish. Every quick decision adds a stone to the monument of your self-respect. Every delay chips away at it. How you decide determines who you become. Now, I must warn you. Those who choose the path of speed will encounter storms. Mistakes are inevitable. Do not fear them. Welcome them as teachers. A single honest error made in motion is infinitely more valuable than a lifetime spent avoiding mistakes. The man who never errs is the man who never does. Mistakes made in the pursuit of progress are not failures. They are tuition on the road to mastery. The key is to never stall. Adjust quickly. Learn and adapt, but keep moving. There will be moments when the opinions of others crowd around you like vultures, eager to peck at your resolve. The world is filled with advisors who have never built anything, never risked a real decision, and yet are always ready to second-guess those with courage. You must harden your mind against their noise. Greatness has always belonged to the minority willing to act while the majority dither. The more you achieve, the more the world will try to restrain you with its own fears. Ignore them. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Fast decisions are the secret ingredient of every true leader. People crave certainty. They are magnetized by the one who cuts through ambiguity, who can say, "This is what we will do. This is the way forward." You will see, as you cultivate this power, that others will fall into step behind you, grateful to be relieved of the agony of endless deliberation. In this, you become not just a maker of your own destiny, but a guide for others. The responsibility is immense, but so are the rewards. To become decisive, you must build rituals into your life that reinforce the habit of fast action. Start each day by making immediate decisions: what you will attack, what you will ignore, where you will invest your time. Train your mind to scan for hesitation, then crush it with action. Keep a list of the choices you are avoiding and tackle the hardest one first. Momentum is built on such acts. Each completed decision propels you toward the next, until movement becomes your natural state and stasis feels foreign. You must also confront the deep roots of hesitation. Often, our delays are not logical, they are emotional. Fear of criticism, of failure, of responsibility keeps us circling the starting line. Strip these fears of their power by acting anyway. You will discover, again and again, that the danger was only ever in your imagination. When you move, fear fades. When you wait, it multiplies. A decisive mind also attracts decisive results. Opportunities prefer speed. In business, in relationships, in personal growth, the window of maximum advantage opens and closes swiftly. The man who waits for a better time is always surprised to discover that the best time was yesterday. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Begin now with what you have. Action refines vision. You can course correct along the way, but you cannot steer a parked car. Let it be known. The man who lives in motion commands life, while the man who waits is always at its mercy. You were born to lead, to act, to shape your own destiny, not to sit in the audience applauding those who dared. Your future depends on the speed with which you convert thoughts into decisions, and decisions into action. If you want a different life, start making faster choices now. Success, at its core, is a series of bold decisions made without waiting for permission. It is a habit of movement, a pattern of action that becomes second nature. Every breakthrough is preceded by a decision that could not wait. Every dream realized is the result of refusing to delay. Let your life be a testament to this truth, that you acted while others hesitated, that you moved while others waited, that you seized what others let slip away. In the end, the greatest tragedy is not making a mistake, but making no mark at all. The world remembers those who moved, who risked, who decided. Be that man. Let your speed set you apart. Make fast decisions, and watch as the world yields to your will. The time is now. Choose. Act. Become unstoppable. There comes a point when you must stand face to face with your own life and ask a simple question. Am I a maker of things or merely a watcher of the world? You were not put on this earth to collect opinions, to endlessly weigh your options until time has stolen them from you. If you have read this far, then somewhere inside you burns the urge to take command. This is the last threshold you must cross, the final surrender of hesitation. You must learn the rarest skill in the world, the ability to decide swiftly and stand by your decision until you see it through to the end. This is not just about being efficient. This is about taking back the reins of your life. All around you are people waiting. They wait for the perfect moment, for the right conditions, for a sign that guarantees their safety. They convince themselves that delay is prudence, that indecision is wisdom, that more time will bring more clarity. But the truth is, life rewards the man who moves, not the man who waits. Opportunity belongs to the bold, the ones who step forward before the dust settles. The crowd rarely applauds the hesitant. History writes its pages with the ink of those who acted. Let's be brutally honest. If you want to build wealth, build influence, or carve your name into the wall of achievement, you must kill the habit of waiting for permission. No one will ever give it to you. You must grant it to yourself. Every day is a battlefield between your future self and your present fears. Which one are you feeding? With every decision you delay, you starve your own potential. You feed the enemy, doubt, starve it. Feed your destiny instead. Understand this. When you hesitate, you signal to your subconscious mind that your desires are negotiable. If you do not commit, your mind will never rally its full strength behind you. But when you decide, when you say, "This is what I will do, no matter what," a power inside you stirs. You wake up your willpower. The whole universe responds to decisiveness. Doors open, resources appear, people are drawn to help. There is no conspiracy more powerful than the man who has made up his mind. Some will read these words and feel a rising discomfort. a rebellion from the old self that wants to remain hidden, safe, invisible. You must not listen to that voice. It is the voice of a wasted life. Comfort is a slow death for dreams. You must reject the myth that playing it safe is virtuous. It is the road to mediocrity and irrelevance. Fast decision-making is not reckless. It is the sign of a mind that has mastered itself, that trusts its own preparation and intuition. It is proof that you value progress over perfection. Now is the time to put these ideas into action. Begin with the simplest things. When you wake up, decide what you will accomplish. Make a list and attack the first item with no delay. As the day unfolds, act on your ideas without excessive consultation or hesitation. Speak up when you have something to say. Reach out when an opportunity presents itself. When a choice must be made, make it, then get to work. Momentum is a force that multiplies itself with each action you take. The great secret of the world's most productive people is not that they never fail, but that they refuse to dwell in uncertainty. They understand that a wrong decision can be corrected, but indecision cannot be reversed. Time wasted is time gone forever. These men and women move forward, adjust as needed, and never allow themselves to be paralyzed by the unknown. You must do the same. Trust your judgment, even if it is imperfect. Let your results teach you faster than any hesitation ever could. Do not allow the opinions of others to pollute your mind. Most people are ruled by their own fears and limited beliefs. If you consult the crowd, you will inherit their anxieties. Seek wise counsel when necessary, but do not substitute endless advice for action. Ultimately, your life is your responsibility. You will be the one who must live with your choices, so make them quickly, own them completely, and move on to the next decision. As you build this muscle, something extraordinary will happen. The world will begin to bend to your will. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will start to come to you. Why? Because most people are locked in the prison of hesitation. The man of action is a rare commodity. He becomes valuable in every field, respected by his peers, admired by his rivals, and depended upon by his partners. You will find yourself invited into rooms you once only dreamed of, simply because you move when others pause. I tell you plainly, you will make mistakes. You will choose wrongly at times, but a life spent in action is always richer than a life spent in regret. Your failures will teach you more than 1,000 ponderings. Each error is a stepping stone. The only true failure is refusing to try. You must be relentless. You must be ruthless with your old habits of waiting and wavering. Cut them out. Replace them with the habit of swift decision, immediate action, and relentless follow-through. The very act of choosing creates clarity. The fog of uncertainty clears when you commit to a direction. You do not need to know every step ahead. You only need to know the next one. Decide, move, evaluate, adjust, repeat. This is how the great fortunes were built, how empires were constructed, how inventions changed the world. This is how ordinary men became extraordinary. Not by waiting, by acting. Remember, indecision is a thief. It steals your energy, your time, your self-respect. Every moment you spend stuck between two options is a moment you could be creating, building, advancing. There are no rewards for the man who waits. There is only the slow erosion of confidence, the gnawing regret of missed chances, and the quiet bitterness of knowing you could have done more. Let the closing of this lesson serve as your awakening. The only way to create the life you desire is to make the next decision now. Not tomorrow, not after more research or more validation from the world. Now, make a vow to yourself. From this moment forward, I will be a man of decisive action. I will not wait for the world to give me permission. I will not apologize for moving faster than the average man. I will make my decisions, live with them, learn from them, and keep moving forward no matter what. This is the creed of every winner you have ever admired. This is the final separation from the masses who wander and the rare few who achieve. You do not need more time. You need more resolve. Every time you act, you gain power. Every time you wait, you surrender it. Which will you choose? The man who wins is not the one who makes the fewest mistakes, but the one who makes the most decisions. Act now. Decide now. Let the world adjust to you. The rest will spend their lives adjusting to the world. This is how success is made inevitable. This is how you stop delaying your greatness and start living it. The world belongs to the man who cannot be stopped because he does not stop himself. Be that man. Decide. Act. Never look back.